The 85th Annual Academy Awards have come and gone, and boy, were they a gas.
A total gas is how I would explain it. Or a hoot.
Hey fellas, you watch the Oscars?
We all watched the Oscars
You guys made
together.
Almost all of us.
Except for, there's
made
one
it.
person here who didn't watch the Oscars in a group with a party. We had a great time, lots of chips.
It's Jake.
I watch it alone.
We were all live tweeting it though, and I highly recommend you go back and check our Twitters, because there was some pretty funny-ish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'll just say
but
that.
it was better if you were there. So
But-
next time there's something going on, you go on the Twitter and you follow us.
Not just Twitter though, Vine. Hilarious Vines. I'll have to link them down below. If you're not following us on Vine, me and Mike have one. Obviously Jake doesn't because he's an Android boy, but check it out.
Android boy.
I wrote down some notes about the show. Let's go through it and just say what we think. First things first, overall, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I would
For the
say
show. For
I'd
the
say-
show itself.
Yeah, for the show, the presentation, I'd say thumbs up. For the
Yeah.
I said
definitely-
big thumbs
yeah.
up.
Yeah,
It was
it-
very, very enjoyable. And thinking back, there were some moments, like some wins that I didn't care for, but I didn't mind for the most part because I was like, I'm enjoying
It was
myself.
paced
Yeah.
well.
So it wasn't that big of a deal.
I saw some people were complaining about Seth MacFarlane. Now,
Well,
even-
yeah, let's talk about Seth MacFarlane.
Now, even if you dislike Seth MacFarlane and the
Which I
jokes he
usually
did,
do.
Didn't really matter because I enjoy Seth
Yeah,
MacFarlane.
I
and it was
do
just like
too.
even if you didn't like it, the show was still entertaining. Like,
thought
it
was good,
It was
yeah.
an entertaining Oscars. and
I
the
thought
pe-
it was very youthful without being forced. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Yeah.
old and stale, but it wasn't too goofy like when they had Anne Hathaway and James Franco.
that
So-
was awful. And
This
terrible,
was
yeah.
very. Kept saying it was a good mix of goofy and classy because there was goofy stuff, there was
lot
classy
of
stuff.
goofs.
A lot of singing.
Yes, that's another thing about the overall show, which we'll get to in a moment. But I do want to touch on one other thing in regards to Seth MacFarlane.
Ooh, touch it.
The whole opening, usually that's kind of a big thing. Like, well, what are they going to do for the opening?
Yeah, it wasn't there.
The whole thing with, Will Shatner, I would say, was our opening.
Oh,
about
yeah,
this
yeah,
time.
yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. It felt
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit sort of like
It
slapped
felt
together.
No, it felt very Seth MacFarlane-y. Kind of like the
Yeah,
reference.
yeah.
Like here's a reference.
Yeah,
and
laugh
True,
at it.
you're right, actually,
Yeah.
true. The one reference that I want to specifically go to is the We Saw Your Boobs song. Have you heard about the backlash against this?
No, I thought everybody would kind of like knew it was a joke.
Of
Yeah,
course
no,
not.
of course not.
No,
So
people are too
people
silly for
actually
that.
thought, and they've been posting it everywhere. Like on Tumblr, I saw it. On Twitter, I saw it everywhere. The reactions of Naomi Watts and Charlize Theron going like this, they thought that was serious.
That
Not
was
real.
a joke.
Not only was
yeah.
it a joke, but it was like edited in from other award shows, I think, or like the rehearsal or something.
Yeah, everybody's laughing.
It was a joke. Not only was it planned, but if you actually watched the show, which I think most people that don't get
Yeah.
it didn't watch the show. Do you remember that whole point was that's what he does to get the whole title of worst Oscar host ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the,
It's
the joke,
supposed to be
guys.
stupid. But anyway, other than that, the dance number with like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Daniel Radcliffe was cool.
Good, yeah.
Charlize Theron and Channing Tatum, cool.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about other aspects of the show. You said music, right? I thought there was too much
said
music
it.
in the show.
Too much. Yeah, way too
And
much.
I mean, you know,
I mean, it was good in the first act with the dancing and all that.
and Les Mis, because they were nominated, of course. You know,
It
the
was perfect.
songs being performed that are nominated makes sense to me. But yeah, there was like
that James Bond one went on for too.
That went on too long.
It
It
looked
was
like
kind of
someone
cool, but
made
it went
that
on
on
too
YouTube.
long. I appreciated it, but it went on too long. And also, I guess they were like honoring musicals, like Chicago and Dreamgirls and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't really care.
Unnecessary.
Which
I
is
mean-
funny because the producers of this year's show were the producers of Chicago.
Yeah, they kept.
That's not funny.
yeah.
That's called bullshit.
Yeah, they kept talking about remember Chicago.
Like, yeah, I do. It wasn't that long ago.
So speaking of stuff going on too long, would you agree that there should be less of that stupid stuff and more of the speeches? I feel like they
No.
cut the speeches way too short.
Well,
I'd like to hear more of what some people have to say. Maybe not everybody.
I
but-
thought that. I mean, like, I thought they rushed them out very appropriately. Like that. Like when they started playing the Jaws music.
the
like,
Jaws theme was brilliant.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I hated that. I
Oh,
thought that
why?
was because a lot of people that was like a very serious moment, their speech, and then to just have it kind of like joked off like that.
But it's kind of like you gotta remember we're on a clock here.
Yeah,
you gotta
I mean,
keep things.
I don't know.
I
it's-
mean,
it kept the show lighthearted.
Yeah,
I think it made
okay.
it funny.
I'll
you
give
know,
you that.
people deserve what they should say, you know, because they worked hard for the award and they got it. But they also should be like, I want to thank, you know, my friend from high school.
My uncle.
I want to thank the guy down the street.
The ice cream
It's
man.
just we don't need it.
The only time it was very unfortunate was when the VFX guys
Which
won.
is a very touchy
when it was
subject.
Touchy subject
Help us.
because, in case you don't know, outside of the Oscars, there was a big protest going on from the VFX guys, the visual effects guys. If you want to look that up, look into it. We're not going to
Major
talk too much
layoffs,
about it.
yeah.
It's a whole nother topic. But he just was about to say something about that, and then it was like, dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun,
Yeah.
dun. Speaking of VFX, Ted was real as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, that was scary. 'cause,
That
like,
was truly terrifying.
usually with Oscars shows, like big shows, like you know, The Late Show, like they'll have kind of like these computer animated characters or
kinda-
cartoons, like you know, they'll get up and talk to.
Yeah, as a goof, they had Gollum do it once.
Yeah, I think they had the Rugrats do it when the Rugrats were coming out, and
this was
like.
Well, I was wondering,
my reality is in question.
He looked better in this than he did in the movie.
I mean, he looked great in the movie, but yeah, I was thinking, I was like, oh, maybe it's a puppet. Wow, it's CG. I saw a picture of him standing there with nothing next to him. It was live and everything.
God, it was creepy.
Michelle Obama, very bizarre.
Yeah, it was bizarre. Have they ever done anything political in the Oscars?
Have
really?
they?
Ronald Reagan did something a while ago.
But he was an actor.
He was an actor. That makes sense.
And then also Bill Clinton a couple times.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Bill Clinton plays the saxophone, so
that's
he's
true.
an entertainer.
Yeah. He's an entertainer first. You're right. But Michelle Obama, like, I get that she was pushing the arts. That's nice and all, but maybe do that earlier in the show. I don't think she should have announced Best Picture.
I mean, Jack Nicholson was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson. Like, I thought that they brought him out, and here, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
But he was
Jack
introduced
Nicholson.
to introduce another person.
Like, hey guys, I'm Jack Nicholson. Anyway,
a couple of funny bits I just wanted to point out, and I don't know if you guys have any off the top of your head.
A couple of gags.
Paul Rudd hitting his face into the mic when he walked out. What about the Sound of Music bit? I thought that was brilliant.
That was good.
I was like, what?
Have you seen Sound of Music?
No.
Oh, really? Oh, well, you'd appreciate it. It was brilliant. It was like a Family Guy bit.
They're gone.
Wolverine saving Mystique
Yeah.
as she fell.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody realize that Wolverine literally jumped up? And Bradley Cooper did as well. I'm sure many people did. But I saw Hugh Jackman in there.
Hugh Jackman beat him.
Wolverine saving Mystique. Incredible.
I knew that was going to be a big thing, but it's like she just tripped.
No, I'm not saying anything about the tripping. I'm just saying the fact that it just so happened to be two X-Men.
Wolverine.
Yeah, it's great.
I really liked the Les Mis performance.
I liked it too.
And then Russell Crowe had to like ruin it towards the end. He was like going too fast, and then the whole thing started to fall apart.
When he walked out, my heart stopped. I was like, oh god, I forgot. Yeah.
And he walks out like, that's right, they put me in even though you guys don't like me.
You can't get rid of me.
Just,
I
like,
saw
smile
somebody
on his
write
face.
online, they said, I wish that they had just isolated his mic only and left him out there alone. But now let's get into the award winners. I say most of these we're going to breeze through because we don't have a ton to say. Best Supporting Actor, Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
Very happy with that. I was expecting it. I know you weren't.
No.
Did you have anyone else specifically, or?
No, I don't know. I just
So the answer is no.
Christopher Waltz. I don't know.
Jake, do you remember a minute
can't
ago
get
when
it
I
out.
said we're going to breeze through this?
Yeah.
Animated short went to Paperman.
Very deserving.
Very deserved.
my favorite,
Guacamole was great too, though.
Yeah.
Loved Guacamole.
That was a little offensive. I was more into Paperman.
Okay, that's what won. Animated feature went to Brave. We were rooting for Wreck-It Ralph.
I was rooting for anything but Brave.
That's true, honestly, me too. I didn't hate Brave. I think you did. No, not hated it. That would be my passion.
Yeah, I really didn't like Brave.
Yeah, I didn't not like it. I just thought it was okay.
I would have
been good.
I would have been very happy with if any of the other ones won.
Yeah, it would have been unconventional.
Yeah, I'd have to agree.
Now, Life of Pi won 2 in a row. This is weird. They won visual effects second, which I thought was very well deserved because the whole movie is visual effects.
That tiger, yeah.
And then it also, before that, won cinematography, which is weird.
This is baffling that it won. Cinematography went to the green screen movie.
And like,
Yeah,
I
that's
get
a
that
little
you still
weird.
have to set up shots. Not all of it is green screen and this and that. Not the whole movie is green screen, but you know, if enough of it is green screen, it's kind of weird.
If you understood how hard it is for a good cinematographer to do his job, and you see that Life of Pi one, you would rip your hair out.
But the thing is, I'm not saying it was bad cinematography. I'm just saying I feel like I was rooting for Skyfall personally.
Yeah,
Deacons.
I'd have to say so. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just a little weird to me. I thought that was kind of bizarre. Best foreign film was a no-brainer because very much like when Toy Story 3 won Best Animated, it was the only one in that category that was nominated for Best Picture. In this case, Amour was the only one out of the foreign films nominated for Best Picture. Very well deserved. Amour was a great film. I'm glad it won that, even though it didn't win Best Picture. Spoiler alert. Sound mixing went to Les Mis. I was very happy about that because of the fact that they recorded everything on the set, the vocals and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what sound mixing is all about.
It's hard.
Now, sound editing, only reason I'm bringing this up, because I didn't really care much about this, is because it was a tie. Apparently, the first tie at the Oscars since the 90s, I think 95, like Best Short Animated or something won a tie. It was Zero Dark 30 and Skyfall. All right.
I am so happy that was the only award Zero Dark 30
and it was a tie.
And you know what? Ironically, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about the raid scene, and the sound effects were everything in that scene, like the sounds of the clicking of the guns and stuff, the footsteps.
Yeah,
so you know
there
what?
was nothing else good in that scene.
I'm cool with that. That's fine.
There's nothing else good in that movie.
You didn't think there was anything good in that scene? The raid was awesome.
I thought that scene was really weird and goofy.
It was very goofy.
It was goofy only because they were talking. But we're not reviewing Zero Dark 30 here, so let's move on. Best Supporting Actress, also a no-brainer, went to Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, we all saw that coming.
That was in the bag from day one. And you know what? They even said it in a goof. Remember early on with the flying nun thing, which was funny? Everybody knew. No-brainer there.
Sold it.
And she was great. Very well deserved.
Yeah.
Best Adapted Screenplay went to Argo.
Argo.
That's weird to me. That's very weird. But I mean, I didn't really care much about who won that category in general. I looked at it and I was like, all right. I was thinking Silver Linings, but that was just because I liked that movie best. I didn't really have an opinion.
Yeah.
Best original screenplay I had a strong opinion on. I was hoping for Django. I'm sure you all were as well. And Django won.
So happy
Yeah,
he got
that
it.
was good.
I figured that would happen, though. I felt like that was the most solid original.
Because he's like such an intense writer and he takes forever.
Yeah.
Good.
Big surprise. Best director goes to Ang Lee for Life of Pi.
Yeah, that's weird.
It was weird, but you know what? He did a great job. And I haven't read Life of Pi, but from what I hear, it was always called the unfilmable book. Like, it was too much, and I thought it was a pretty great movie. So
He's a good director.
I think he's a really good director. I mean, Hulk is an amazing... All right, I'm sorry, I won't do this to you. But I do like to think that this was making up for not acknowledging Hulk.
Yeah. Wow.
Now we're into the big top three, I would say. Best Actress, Best Actor, and Best Picture. Those are the big ones. Best Actress went to, and this was really the expected one, although I didn't fully think this would happen, Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, she was good. She was good in Silver
But that's the
Linings.
thing. I agree. She was good.
I wasn't
good.
floored.
I thought she was really good, but...
Wasn't floored.
I don't know, I feel like best. I don't know if she was best.
Who else was up for best?
Evangeline Wallace.
Well, she was great, but
It's kind of weird.
it would have been weird. I mean, that's amazing that she was nominated.
Too little.
Yeah, you know what? She
too little and
got
cute.
enough recognition.
Yeah.
It's fine. Best Actor, also no surprise, really. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, that was no surprise. I mean, I really didn't like Lincoln, but it's Daniel Day-Lewis.
And he was good. As much as I couldn't stay awake in the movie, he was great.
That's
He had
the
a
thing
presence.
is, I agree with you.
If
the
you
presence.
define actor to its definition,
It's core.
Its core, he is technically the best actor alive.
Of all time, maybe.
Yeah.
What if he's been playing Daniel Day-Lewis for 20 years?
What if Daniel Day-Lewis is a farce?
And finally, for those that didn't watch, Best Picture didn't go to Zero Dark 30. So can we at least say that?
Thank God.
Can we at least say that? This is the third from the last of what I would have chosen, Argo. Argo won Best Picture. It's the third from the last, I think, for me.
It is so strange to me when I see the accolades this movie gets. It's
Yeah.
like, what the hell? Did we watch the same movie?
Well, let's break it down though. Did you like the movie?
I did.
You did not.
I would say close to hate it. I really did not.
I really liked it, but
I thought it was effective.
again, really liked is not good enough for me. I need to have loved it. I really liked Argo. So I'm not upset about it. I know you're upset, and I totally get it. I'm not upset about it myself. I don't know about you, Jake.
I'm just happy Ben Affleck got some recognition.
See, that's the thing.
He's
That's
good.
the thing. For me, it's kind of like, I know it's technically about Argo, but I'm really happy for Ben Affleck as a person.
Yeah, I mean, that's good for him, but it's like...
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. And like I said, honestly, the show was so good that when it won, I was like, okay, I love the show.
It's like what I was just saying before. If Lincoln won, I would have been kind of pissed, but I would have said, oh, okay, that makes sense. But when
You're right, Argo kind of doesn't make sense
It's
to me.
like, what in Argo made it the best picture of the year?
Yeah.
What happened in it that was like, that's great?
I liked it a lot, but I agree with you. What made it Best Picture? I don't know. For me, I think I was rooting for Beast of the Southern Wild.
Yeah,
I would
I
love to see that.
think it had a lot to do with the Academy because it was about filmmakers. It was
That's the
fun.
thing.
It was patriotic.
There's so much more behind it than just the movie itself. That's the problem.
But
Movies being patriotic should not give it the leg up to be best picture.
And I don't think that's
so,
even.
personally.
Yeah, I don't really think that was even the driving
I think
force.
that's the
I think
only-
it's more about the politics of movie making. In terms
I've heard
of Affleck.
murmurs. Yeah.
But but you know, it was a great show. We had a lot of fun watching it, Jake. I had a lot of fun with you not being there.
I was
to be honest
texting
with you.
you guys. Like,
No,
hey guys, you haven't
no,
played
you never
weren't.
texted
You
me.
weren't. I
once.
did not get one message.
Never
from
texted
you.
me once.
Tweeting alone. I was
You
tweeting
did
alone.
tweet though, yeah. So don't forget to check us out on the Twitter. But all in all, I would say it was a good year for movies.
It was a good year.
A good year at the Oscars.
Yeah.
A good show.
We'll catch you there next year.
Maybe we'll be there next year on the red carpet, not asking people what they're wearing, but asking people questions we actually give a shit about the answer to.
But we need to know what they're wearing. How are we supposed to enjoy the Oscars if we don't know what they're wearing?
And that's pretty much it.